Hey everyone, Coder Steve here. In the last video of this series, I showed how you can delete data from a MySQL database using PHP. In this tutorial today, I'm going to show you how you can edit data in the database using PHP. So we'll get started by going to the website where we've been working, and this was test production page, and down here is where we inserted some data. So we're going to add some data in there firstly and insert it in. I've got this to copy and paste in. Testing 1, testing 2, no, testing 1, testing 1, testing 1, they all say that. So we insert that into the database. So we've got that there now. And if we go to the database from the PHP MyAdmin link and we're in the data table, that's what I just put in place. Now you can edit these in this PHP MyAdmin by just double clicking them and clicking edit, but that's ridiculous because you want to be able to edit from your website or allow users to edit from your website. You don't want them accessing your PHP MyAdmin. That's not possible. So we'll show you how to edit it from your website, and we'll do that now. So we've got the data I just added here. So I'll do what I'm going to do. I'm going to add another row in, and I'll call that one testing 2. Testing 2. And there we go. Right, we've got 2 rows in the database. So I'm going to add another column here that's going to say edit, and then we can edit these by building a form on another page and an update file. So let's get started. Firstly, we want to go to my production.php code, and I'll show you where we need to go. So down here is where we created the table, and you can see here it says delete, which matches this area here. So if we go and add another table column for doing this, we'll change this to say edit.php. I'm going to take the image out of this one because I haven't got an edit button image, so I'm just going to write some text in there. So we're going to say edit this row like that. So then we'll scroll down a little bit further, and we need to I'll make another table header section that will go above that area to make it look nice and neat, and I'll just call that edit. Right, so we'll save to the website, and I'll refresh the website, and now we've got these little links down here. Now it's not very neat. It could be neatened up, but that's not part of this tutorial. This tutorial I'm just showing you how to edit using PHP. So editing a row in a MySQL database using PHP. If you like my video, please like it because it helps my channel a lot. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe because I release videos quite often showing how to code new scripts. So if we click this edit.php, the URL actually says edit.php !id equals 4 for that one, and this one says id equals 5 for that one. So we know that's all correct. If we click edit, nothing happens. I need to create that file now. So we'll do that now. So we need to firstly go back to our files, and we need to pick on one of these and call it edit. So I'm going to just use this file here. It can be any, you can just make a new file, but we'll use this one here, and I'll click edit. So this is this code. I need to change all this. So I'm going to file, save to website, and I'm going to save this as edit.php, because in here it says edit.php !id equals 4, which you can see in my code just here, edit.php !id equals, and then that'll be the row number. Because it says that, in this file, we need to get the ID. So because it's a get, because we're getting it from the address bar, and it ain't part of a form, we're going to put ID in there. We'll change this to say get, and then we'll give it an ID variable like so. So I'll delete them because they're not needed. We don't need to insert any data in the database because we're doing an edit here. So I'll delete that, and we don't need a redirect on this one. So we've got that. You've got your connection code there, which always goes above these. So we've got the ID. So now we need to put a bit of code in to select from the MySQL database by this ID. So if I grab that bit of code from my special little code sheet that I always keep on my PC, and I'll place that in here. So I'll select all from data, that's the table, where ID equals $ID, and then here we can have all the stuff we need to edit. So we don't really need ID, we want title, copy them. Because I think there's about 3 things we could change in there. I think one was description, and one was place. Have a look. Description, and one was place. Let's just double check that while we're here. So yeah, we've got title, description, and place. We'll double check it in the database yet. Title, description, and place. So these are the bits we're gonna want to edit. There's nothing else really to edit here. You can't edit the ID because that's already been created. This is nothing to edit because that's just a delete function, but there's only these 3 columns, as in here, 1, 2, 3. So they're the only 3 places you can really edit. But you can, if you're making, you know, something different, you could have multiple. This could go along for ages along here, and you could edit anything that you put in here. You can edit the same way as I'm showing in this tutorial. So we'll go back here. That's the edit. Right, this is the file. So what I want to do now, I've got the variables title, description, and place. I've selected them from the MySQL database using this bit of code here. So I'll just separate that. So if you're watching this video, you can see, and you can use this code and copy it to edit stuff, all your PHP scripts or projects that you're doing. Right, so we don't need any more code in there. I need some HTML code next, because when we click the edit link, we want to fire up a bit of HTML. So we're going to use something pretty clever. I'll grab this. I'll grab all the HTML of my production page, and we paste that underneath there. So now we want to look down to where the form is, which is here. So we'll say, I'll call this test edit page, and I'll look back at this page. We're going to test edit page, and we're going to change that to say update the data. So that's all we want to say, test edit page, and then update the data. So we don't need this down here, so I'll get rid of that now. So we don't need any of that, and that runs to there like so. So this bit, this is the form, and I'm going to say edit the data. So if I save that to website, this ain't actually going to do anything at the moment, but if I click this, it will allow me to view it. And this is the URL I created, edit.php !id equals 4. So this is the test edit page. So there's nothing in there. So we'll put them bits in next. It should show these details when we click this edit. They should be pre-filled in here, and I'll show you how to do that now. So firstly, you got the variables here. These are from the database, so you can use them actually in the form below to update it. So we're going to change this. I'm going to change this to say update.php. So when this is clicked, it's going to go to this file called update.php. I'll put a question mark on the end, and I'll put ID equals PHP echo $ID and leave that like that. And if I go back up, I will actually, I've got the ID there. I've got the ID. I didn't need to get that from the database because we've got it from the get URL. So when they click update.php, it'll go ID equals, and then it'll be the ID that we're editing. So now in here, I'm going to change some of these bits because some of these bits ain't relevant for this form. So we can use value equals like that. And then if we copy this bit of PHP, we'll just change it for each one. You put this in between the value bits like that, and we call it the title. And then I'll copy that. Copy. I'll put one in here for description. So do that like that. Then we put one in here for place. I'll just change these variables. Description, and change that last one to place. Just put space there, makes it easier to read a little bit. So if we save to website and see what happens. So I can refresh this page, we can hit back actually and hit it again. Now it's echoed it out like that, which is not really what we wanted to see. So if we change that, sorry, my bad. It's not meant to show like that. So what I can see that I've missed out here is I added a question mark, which goes in there. That's why it's not echoing out as it should. So we'll save to website and hit back and try it again. There you go. I've got the correct data showing. Sorry about that mistake. I'm a little bit tired, but that's how you get the data in here. So we can change that. You can change that to say listing 2, etc., whatever. So if I click edit, nothing happens because we haven't actually got the update.php file. So now you need to create that. That's the next step. So we can do that now, which is not a problem. So we ain't got the update file. So we can pick on this one again. So we click edit, file, save to website as update.php. Like so. Then we need to get all the variables from the form, but this time they are going to be post variables. So we need title, we do the same for description, and the same here. We paste the last one in, which is place. Paste that one in there, like so. We don't need that insert data because again, we're not inserting. But once this is clicked and you've updated it, I'd like to take it back to the production page. So that's production.php using a header redirect. So I'm going to put the update code just in here. Update the DB with new data. So we put that just under there, and I can go to my little trusty file that I keep all my special codes in. Right, so we can look at this. Update. We paste this in here. The good thing about PHP is once you've written the code or wrote the code, you can save the code and reuse it in many different things. So that's the good thing about it. So we want to update data. We want to set the title. Put a little space in there. We want to give that the variable here, because that's what we're changing it to. And then we'll do the same for description. Equals dollar description. And finally, we do it for place. And we change that to dollar place. We get rid of the last two because we don't need them, but also take away this. This is important. That bit has to go, otherwise the script will not work. So we need to update it where ID equals $ID, and also I forgot to add, it won't update unless we get the get. Using a get from the form, you can use it as a post. You can do this as a post or a get. But I've done it as a get. That's getting the ID to update. They're the variables from the form. This updates the database with the new stuff, and it redirects back to the production page. So let's test this out. I'll save it to a website and we can test it out. So we've changed, if I refresh this page, it's going to change to back to 1 because I haven't actually updated it in the database. Right, so there we go. It says testing 1, testing 1, testing 1. So if I change it to testing 2, testing 2, and testing 2. Let's edit the data now and test it out. There you go. It updated it and it changed it to testing 2, testing 2, testing 2. See that? That's how it changes. So I'm going to just double check it. We'll just make something else in this, and I'll call this, we'll change it to say Steve Coder is the best LOL, and we'll copy that and we can paste, I'll insert or edit this and then paste that in there, edit this, paste that in there, edit this, paste that in there, update the table. Firstly, I'll show you in here. Yeah, I'll refresh it. It says testing 2, but ID number 4, that's the one I'm editing. So if we paste this in there and we edit the data, let's see what happens. Look at that. Steve Coder is the best. LOL. How funny. So there you go, and it changes in your database. That's how you edit data in your MySQL database using PHP. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe should you want to. Any questions, please comment below. I'll be happy to help. Thank you again for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.